All right, so here's the plan for today. 1 marker, 2 marker, 3 marker challenge. Basically what it means is a 1 color, 2 color, 3 color challenge. You're allowed to use other art supplies, but you're supposed to stick to the color palette. I was feeling very stiff in the wrists this morning, so I just did a little bit of scribbling, and I really like this one. So I thought now we could dive in and draw it. I originally thought I would draw the same thing on all 3 papers and then use the different color schemes for each, but I think that'll just bore me a little too much. So what I think I'll do first is just draw this one and then make a decision. And I want to use that little sketch from before. I'm going to use a Color colored pencil. This one is in the color lavender. We're just gonna start drawing. The fun part's when we're gonna like pick our colors at random, and then I have to use them in the illustration, which is part of what makes it a challenge. So we got a torso, the hands kind of like holding the jacket, and then there's the shirt hanging out. Drew the head too big. I drew the whole thing too small. The head was probably the right size. Shoulders, got a neck in there. I'm gonna try to not draw the neck too skinny. We'll see if that comes to fruition. Should I give him a tie? I don't know. Is that too dressy? Another arms down there. I kind of wanted the shirt untucked. And then we need to finish off the face, and then we'll pick the color. Or should I draw all 3 first? Let me just focus on this one first. Got a nose, mouth, cheek. What kind of hair? Maybe something that's more clumpy in the... No. Maybe I do want that shape, but then I want to like make it look more like hair. Maybe the chin needs to be a little bigger. Even out the face. Then we need like a collar for this part of the shirt. I guess this would technically fall like that. I feel like that's what I'm looking for. I definitely am realizing I don't want to draw the same thing over and over again. Okay, what do we think about this? Fix up some of these little uneven parts. This could be fun to play with textures because there are so many different elements of the outfit. You could maybe do, I don't know, animal print. Is that too crazy? I always forget to look at him straight on. Shoot, he's a little stretched in the face. Maybe if I just bring the forehead down a little, give the illusion that that's better. I think that worked. Should just go to the edge of the paper. Looking good. Let's add some line art. A 0.3. I'm gonna try and keep the line art pretty simple because I'm not sure what colors we're gonna have. If this ends up being the 1 marker, do I want to capture a lot of tone with the line art? I feel like I've got like the shakes. Just do my best. And the shoulders. I feel like shoulders are something I have a lot of trouble with when drawing male anatomy for some reason. They always just look a little off. Add a little cuff in there. I need to take a step back and learn to draw wrinkles again. I feel like I've lost that knowledge base. Alright, there we go. I kind of like the way this turned out. Oh, I forgot his mouth. There we go. We got 2 more pieces of paper. I think I'll just do a little guilty pleasure one, which will probably end up being the 1 marker. Shoulders. Ooh, what if I could put like this arm upwards? And the shoulder ends up being around here, and then this arm comes straight up, and then the front. What if we turn this hand this way? So the thumb will be here, and then we can use like those sprayed fingers to add almost like a little flump up at the top of her head. Ooh, we gotta decide on an outfit. Ooh. If we end up with 1 or 2 markers for this, going with like a sweatsuit with a little bit of a crop here, and then it's like ribbed section there. Cuff it here too, right here. Matching bottom here. Pull the hair, I think this way makes sense compositionally. Stick a little down here too, fill this space. Put a hand here. The way I have the wrinkles here doesn't really make sense to not have them here. I thought because the arm's pulling up, there'd be less wrinkles. Because it's cuffed at the elbow, there still would be, right? Open her eyes a little. This one turned out cute too. Let's add the line art for that. We start with the eyes for whatever reason. Went with more of a French fry finger technique. I really like the wrinkles, how they formed in that one, but I'm still a little more about that. Not that there's anything I can do about it now. back piece of the hair. Okay, the hair. I was kind of confident about the swooshies, but now that they're in liner, I don't really like them. Little high-waisted pants. And then the last few lines go right here. Let me just erase some of this pencil. Alright, let's do one more and then we'll pick the colors. What do I want to do? Let's try a straight on pose. Since I did a left and a right, cross the arms in front. Do the arms need to be higher? I think they're just a little smidge higher. Okay, this is turning a little cute. I think my faces are turning out better now than they were at the beginning. We've done like a mid-length hair. We have super long and super short. I don't know what, like shoulder length? Is it too like squiggly? Let me take a look at this straight on. Not bad, not bad. I definitely can see a little distortion. Alright, we got the pose. Now I just need to find some clothes. We've done like well-fitted, sort of baggy. What if we go super baggy? Although when I do super baggy, I usually like to do a more open pose, kind of like that, so you can see the wrinkles. If I were to make this super baggy, you'll just end up with basically a blob of a pose. I think we'll need to do something a little bit tighter. We also haven't done glasses. Maybe we should do glasses. What about like a collar? A little tie? This I think will have some kind of pattern. This might be a mix more of patterns and non-patterns. Sorry, got distracted. We need lower half close. Sideways mouth smile. I think this is my favorite sketch so far. I still can't figure out what kind of pants to give her. My head sees like brown plaid sort of baggy pants to go with this top. Give her some jewelry maybe. This feels naked on the arm. What if it's like a side oh no, that's Wheels. I was like, wait, that's what Wheels wears. Maybe a lot more pleats. Got a waistband. Bit of a tangent with like the edge of the paper, but I think I'll just accept it. I think this could work. Let's go in and take my 0.3 fine liner and start adding in the lines. Hey, I didn't start with the eye this time. Under eyelash. I feel like as soon as you add the eyes, it really brings the piece to life. Gives it a little personality. Oh shoot, I just did, I colored in the white of the eyes, the pupil. Shoot, I don't like that. Chin. I really liked the way that hair turned out. This was kind of something new for me, having like a squiggle go underneath a squiggle of hair. And I think it really, really worked. Got me kind of excited for the future. It's always fun to draw like little laces because you just draw it in. Whereas when you want like a thick lace to be a specific color, you have to like draw the outside of the lace, which I always find very difficult. I'm trying to figure out how I want to do the glasses. Do I want the glasses to go underneath this front piece of hair or in front of it? I mean, the eyes behind the hair. So maybe I should do with the glasses behind the hair. Sometimes it's like fun to just do something kind of creatively artsy. Even though as a kid, I don't remember what cartoon it was, but there was some cartoon where they drew the eyes over hair, even if the hair went in front of the eyes, and it drove me nuts. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Now I'm like, I can do what I want. Oh, here's kind of an example of what I have to do with laces when they're thicker. Kind of like these bracelets. Add in these pleats. Now I gotta do these glasses. Definitely want this one to go in front of the hair because it would, realistically. I guess we'll go behind. This one might be my favorite. Oop, I forgot these eyebrows. Bloop, bloop. Now it's time to pick the colors. For the colors, I want to do it like randomly to the best of my abilities. That's part of the challenge. Also, I think I will scan these in case you want to color along. So let me do that. That's done. Now, I think since I have some Ohus and some Copic markers, I thought what we could do is flip-flop one each. I think what I'll do is pick first color first. I have the Ohu brush marker set. I'm going to turn them away from me, and we'll try and pick one at random. Then I'm going to color it. Then we'll pick another, because I don't want to know all the colors at the beginning. I think it would be smartest to do it one at a time, right? Just don't be like a poopy brown. Ooh, aubergine. I'm gonna swatch this in my sketchbook first. See how dark it. Oh, that's dark. I could mix it with something. Shoot, I gotta use this on all three. It's gonna be great if we get like a lighter color for contrast. But on this first one, what am I gonna do? So this color's really dark. Let me think. I want a drawing that doesn't have too many overlappy bits. I colored this dark, this light, this dark, this dark. Shoot, this is gonna be so much harder. Okay, this is what the challenge is, right? You gotta find a way to use one color. I personally like to allow myself to use like a white gel pen and obviously line art. I've also in the past like diluted a marker with rubbing alcohol to get a lighter version of it. I feel like it's gonna be hard to do textures unless I do go ahead and mix it with some rubbing alcohol. I always have it right here. It's really good for like cleaning off your desk if you get Copic marker on it. This one's the one that like, I don't know, my head just tells me, oh, this would be the one color one. Maybe I should go with that gut instinct and just listen to it. Now my second gut, I guess I have two, is telling me to color the outside dark and maybe dilute it with like a colorless blender. You can kind of use it to lift. I feel like it's going to be smarter to dilute it with the rubbing alcohol. First I need to just color that in. Grab the sketchbook so I can go right along the edges. And then when you're filling in large spaces, I kind of like to use the chisel. Let's start in this small section. Do the next smallest section. Next smallest section. Now all that's left is the entire outside. So I guess that's what I will do next. Now this color's real dark, as you can see. So I don't think the overlapping the color isn't going to make too big a difference. It shouldn't be too streaky. Although now that it's drying, I am seeing the streaks. Well, well, well. Can't be right all the time, can we? Go along the outside edge. Switch to the brush. Alright, it's not being as solid as I wanted. It's definitely streaky. So I might just have to do another layer. That might do it. I'm really liking the contrast between the white character and the dark background. But obviously I'm going to have to add some color throughout the whole thing or I feel like that's a cop-out. Just give me a sec. We'll figure this out. More layering is only making it just as streaky, but darker, and I don't think I want it to be any darker. So let's do on to the next plan, which was to add rubbing alcohol to the marker. So what I like to do is rub it all over here like this. And then just drop the tiniest bit of rubbing alcohol. Start to dilute it. That was a lot more than a tiny bit. But that might be what we need. You can kind of see the ink as it's reacting with the alcohol. Now the reason this works really well is because the markers are made with alcohol ink. So by adding more, it does kind of ruin the integrity of the color. But you can get a lighter version. You can kind of see what the color looks like now. That's what it used to look like. We'll use this, kind of even out the color so that we get the same color every time we dip the paintbrush in. I think what I'll start with is the sweatsuit. Is that what that's called? Sweatshirt. Just fill that in. Careful when you do this because it is going to be a lot wetter than just using the marker. You can have buckling problems. I want to make the pants match that. Alright, missed a spot. I'm gonna color in the eyebrow. Why not? Try to do some blush, nose slush. Kind of build it up slowly. Build up a little bit more on the face because now that it's drying, it's kind of lightening. Just have to build it up when you do this because I over diluted. Kind of want to add some shadows because I'm having a little fun with this paintbrush. The skin I've kind of left white. I know, I just go over the skin with a light layer and then it'll have a different color than the hair. And then I think we're done with this one. Let me see. Yeah, see, that's too dark. So it matches the outfit. Keep building it up, I guess. I want there to be contrast between the areas. See how, like, as I slowly build up the colors, you're getting more contrast between the skin and the outfit. And I'm thinking I'm just gonna leave the hair white, but I need to add a little bit more color to the face. I think I made this work. I will grab my white gel pen and see if I can maybe just find places to put this. I'm thinking adding some texture for the hair. To kind of clean up and like, I don't know, add some refination. You do have to be careful because with white gel pens, they'll sometimes absorb some of the ink and kind of change color. So you can kind of see this one turned pink. It's kind of just making the hair look more like hair instead of just a white blob. When leaving it white, it kind of has a habit of looking like it might be just something that's behind there. I think by adding in these little strands, it's much more obviously hair-like. Guess we can sign with those too. Boom. That's one down. I really like the way this turned out. I was very skeptical at the beginning, I will be honest. But I think sticking through with it, ended up with a pretty good result that I'm happy with. Just add a little bit more definition to the face. If I can clean this brush, or if it's gonna be purple forever. Not that I'm complaining. Ew, guess it's stuck purple. Move on to the next one. So what we have to do is pick another color from my Copic collection right here. Can you see it? Can you? Can you? I don't know how to pick this randomly. They're not really organized. I don't know if you can. Ah! But I'm really hoping for like a lighter pastel color. I think the majority of my markers are that. I'll just close my eyes. Be a pastel color. Hey! What we ended up getting is pale lilac, which I feel like is very similar to this. It's actually way pinker, but it is a pastel color in comparison to our aubergine, or however you say that. This color scheme's really pretty right now. I think I'm gonna use it for the guy in the suit. Although this would really work well with these two. Ooh, what do I do? This is like minimal stress levels and it's like hitting me hard for some reason. I'm honestly tempted to do this one because I feel like I can make it look good with these two colors. And what if we get like a color that doesn't look good with these? Then I'll ruin the one I like the best. You know what? I feel like we gotta go big or go home. So I'm gonna use these two colors on this one. I'm second guessing myself though. I feel like since this has so many elements, maybe I should wait for the 3 markers for this one. I should have just done them one at a time, pulled a marker, and then I wouldn't be able to have a choice, you know? We'll try diluting this. That didn't really do much. I want the hair to be dark, but the problem is you can see how dark that is. And if you layer that over the ink, it's gonna end up removing these cool lines that I really like. Layer the pink color over the hair first, then use the purple to like shade it, and then we'll blend it out again with the pink one. I think that's something I'd like to try. So we basically just color in the whole thing with this. I like this color. It's really pretty. So I've colored in the hair with this. Now I'm going to leave the cap off so it's ready to rumble, right? And then I'm going to take this purple and we'll start by trying to add in the shading under here. Is it working? I feel like Unikitty. My favorite is when they're too slightly blended together. I feel like when I use the remainder of the purple that's on here, layer that up. Now it's got to be careful up here because there's a lot more light. So I don't want to like overwhelmingly darken that. Just add small amounts. It's got a cool look to it, but I'm not sure it's working. Why don't I take this diluted purple that I have and layer over the pink with this? I don't know why this wasn't like an instant thought of mine, but hey, we got there eventually. I like the intricacy of the color because it is 2 different color inks layered, you know? We could go in with straight aubergine for the collar. It's gonna be a contrasting color. Fill this in. Maybe a bracelet. And for skin, maybe we should stick to mostly this pale lilac color. A little shading under the glasses. Just kind of adding in shade right now because I might layer over this with like a diluted version. Just trying to make it work. Although just doing that, it makes the area of the skin just look pinker to me. Okay, now this skirt. I'm thinking plaid. Paper underneath this. What I'll do is I'll draw straight across. Wait, how big is this? Seems like that would probably work. We'll kind of keep in mind the pleats and do that again. We'll do the same thing going the opposite direction. I also like to like build it up where they overlap. Because they're alcohol markers, they do layer a bit and you do get that square showing up. If you go over it again, it's much more prominent and I think it makes a very big difference. Now I think what's next is to grab the aubergine, grab the chisel end, but only use the very tippy tip and draw little lines. Actually, wait, first I think I have to do that with this. That's probably good enough to go, but I think we do need to add more purple. Otherwise, we're not living up to the challenge, you know? Shoot, I don't like it. Maybe if I like go over it again, let it bleed outwards, blend in with some of the other colors. Pen's too thick. Can I like make it smaller with the brush tip? From a distance, I feel like it passes just fine, but the purple is competing with the line art. I wonder if I could go over it with the line art again. Darken it up. We could also try the white gel pen. Just add to this pattern. We add in some white to the glasses. Since there's nothing else that has just pink, just color in the shirt. And I might layer it up a couple times to make it darker. Just because there ended up being so much purple on the bottom. A little highlight to the eyes. That made a difference. I wonder if I could take the purple pen and add the hair strands. Make it frizzy. I think it needs some kind of background though, because this one just stands out so much by having a background color. I think I'll darken up the hair a little bit more. Kind of give it more contrast. Now it's like evening out the tones with the bottom and the top. You see that this is turning blue? The color makeup of the ink is breaking down. I added a circle in the background to try to help with composition, which I think helps, but now the contrast's a little off throughout. Maybe add a little white line around it. That helped a little bit, but it's still on par with the pink. I guess I could try layering more of the pale lilac on top of itself. Just adding in hearts to try to break up the patchiness. You know what I could try is just actually color over the whole thing. That helps, because now it's lighter and it's being pushed further back. Could also maybe add some highlights to the hair. I wonder if I should just take that dark purple and draw like a border around the outside. I think it just adds a little bit of something extra because this one is just so, you know, heavy looking. Now, we gotta pick one more color and then we have to do this. I'm hopefully optimistic. We gotta pick a color at random and I'm trying to figure out how to do that. So I think what I'll do is I'll just hold it like this and then first one to fall out is the marker. It's raw umber. It's not the poopiest brown. Okay, that's not a poop brown at all. So these are our three colors now. We have raw umber, aubergine, pale lilac. I feel like with adding the brown, it's just gonna end up looking like a Bruce Banner here. But since there's three colors, I'm gonna try and give myself the best shot. Create a little tiny thumbnail so we can see the colors in action. There's my thumbnail. Brown for the pants. Maybe brown for the hair. It's always so much easier to just throw colors on when it's a thumbnail. The pale lilac for the t-shirt, or whatever you call these things. The aubergine for the coat. I'm just worried about the aubergine because it's so close to my line art color. And the tie could maybe be striped. Use this for a little blush. I didn't realize that the purple being so close to the brown wouldn't be a problem. It looks fine. My only issue is these two areas of purple are gonna overlap. Will you be able to see that there's a line there? We could try layering brown over the purple, darken it up even more. It might work. Let's go ahead and try this out. Color in the pants first. Then we do the hair too. Might layer that a little bit with the pale violet. Keep that highlight right there. Then I wanted to use pale violet for this shirt. I got really lucky using the purple pencil for the sketch. I guess it was just the universe. Added a little bit of like shading. Since it's a light color, it can do that pretty well. And this is actually part of that blouse. So now we just have to color in this with the aubergine. I am very nervous about it. I think what I'll do first is color in this part that I'm really nervous about. Layer that with the raw umber. So now that looks basically black. Oh shoot, wait! That's just gonna look like one big chunk. There, I just used the white gel pen to kind of find that line again. Do the same thing here. I'm hoping I just don't forget about where the line's supposed to go. Follow that same plan for the rest. Find that shape again. I guess we'll have to do the same thing for the little wrinkles there. We wanted to add stripes to the tie, I think. I think I was going to leave it white on the background just so it's not too competitive with the blouse. I might take colors blender to like blend out the purple color. Ooh, that was smart. Yes, I like it. I guess this for the nose. Use the colors blender on that as well. We just need like a background color. I wasn't going to originally do it with this because it's only right there, right? Yeah, let's go for it. I think I'll start doing the same thing as that. Does that work? Does that do enough? Right, I think we're done. I don't know, I feel like this still feels weak to me. Maybe I should fill in the background with this. You see how this goes down pink and then dries much more purple? Let's add a second layer. Kind of clean up some of those streaks. Ooh, that is a little streaky. The skin looks so white now and I don't really like it. I could try to just use the colors blender and like blend out whatever's there. I kind of like that it just sort of fills it in and makes them cohesive together. So here we have my attempt at doing a 1 marker, 2 marker, 3 marker challenge subsequently. I think personally this one is my favorite. Let me know which one you like the best. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me on this little adventure. I'll see you guys all next week and hope you have a delicious evening full of waffles. Bye!